Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take that pile of sources you send us, figure out what's going on, and give you the clear picture. Today, well, we're diving into something I think we've all seen: digital confusion. It's amazing how much difference just one little piece of punctuation can make. We're looking at a single hyphen, actually.
Yeah, it's a perfect example. The sources highlight this very common problem. You've got two apps, names almost identical, Botit and Botit. Sounds like maybe a typo, or perhaps different versions, but no.
Not at all. And that's the core puzzle, isn't it? Despite just one character difference, BOTIT versus BOT-IT, these are totally separate entities, different companies, different worlds, really. So our mission today is to unpack them. What does each one do? Where do they operate? And crucially, what does the term purchases mean when they talk about collecting your data? Because it's wildly different.
That's the heart of it, yeah. You look at privacy policies, you see standard words like purchases. You assume it means one thing. But as we'll see, what that word means depends entirely on the app's fundamental purpose. Is it dealing with physical stuff, atoms, or just digital stuff, code? Okay, let's get into it.
Right. Let's lay out the two distinct players here based on the sources. First up, Botit, B-O-T-I-T, no hyphen. The sources are clear. This is an e-commerce shopping app, buying things.
And then the other one, Botit, B-O-T-IT with the hyphen, and this one, totally different. It's a tool for productivity, for automation. So same basic name, but that's it. One sells you goods, needs warehouses, delivery trucks. The other sells you, well, efficiency, digital power.
Okay, let's dive into Botit first, the e-commerce one. Sources call it the one-stop instant shopping app. The big draw seems to be speed, convenience, getting stuff fast. And variety too, local shops, global brands, all in one place.
And the really critical detail in the sources, geography. Botit operates primarily in Egypt. This isn't just trivia. It shapes their entire operation. Running an instant delivery service means massive local investment. Think inventory, warehouses, and, crucially, their own delivery fleet. You can't fake that.
Yeah, that instant part is key, isn't it? The sources highlight the delivery promise. Same hour to same day delivery. That's incredibly fast. You don't just achieve that with a clever app. It points to a deep, complex logistics operation humming behind the scenes. Probably very high density warehousing and sophisticated route planning.
Exactly. It's basically a logistics company with a really good app interface. And look at what they deliver. Food, groceries, fashion, electronics, these are physical items. Delivering groceries, especially within an hour, that's incredibly complex. Temperature control, spoilage. It requires a huge localized infrastructure. Focusing just on Egypt lets them build that density.
Right. They're not trying to compete everywhere with slower global shipping. They're aiming to dominate immediate delivery in one specific dense market. Okay, so that brings us to data. Given this focus on physical goods and delivery, what does purchases data mean for Botit?
For Botit, it's exactly what you'd intuitively think based on their business. Purchases data is the record of the physical items you bought. Which specific groceries, which brand of headphones, which t-shirt, and it also includes the related financial transaction and how much you paid, including any delivery fees.
So it's tracking your actual consumption of physical goods.
Yes. And that data is valuable because it reveals a lot about your real-world life, your spending habits, maybe your income level, what you consider essential versus luxury. And because delivery is involved, it inherently links that purchasing behavior to your physical address, maybe even patterns in when you're home.
That makes sense. The data helps them optimize their logistics, predict demand, place inventory smartly, and also target ads based on what you actually buy and use. But it also carries significant privacy implications, being tied to your finances and your physical location.
Absolutely. It's very tangible data about your tangible life. That's the world of Botit physical goods, real-world logistics, localized operations in Egypt.
Okay, quite clear. Now let's shift gears completely. Let's talk about Botit with the hyphen. If Botit is all about moving physical stuff around, Botit seems to live entirely online, in the digital realm.
Entirely. We leave the warehouses and delivery bikes far behind. Bot is described in the sources as a no-code automation tool.
Okay, no code. Why is that important? What does that mean for the user?
It's about accessibility, making powerful automation available to people who can't, write complex scripts or code. Traditionally, if you wanted a bot to, say, constantly check a website for tickets to go on sale and buy them instantly, you needed serious technical skills.
Right, you'd have to hire someone or be a programmer yourself.
Exactly. No-code platforms like Botit turn that into more of a configuration task. You use a graphical interface, set parameters, watch this page, click this button if X happens, enter this info. It democratizes sophisticated automation.
Ah, okay. That explains the examples the sources give for what people use Botit for. They seem quite specific, very high demand. Things like grabbing golf tee times the second they become available, or
Mhm.
snagging concert tickets for really popular shows, even booking campsites that open at weird hours and vanish instantly.
Precisely. These are all situations where speed is everything and human reaction time is just too slow. Demand massively outstrips supply. But it isn't selling the golf time or the concert ticket itself. It's selling you the automated tool that gives you a fighting chance to get it. It's selling speed and efficiency in a scarcity situation.
So you're essentially buying an advantage, paying to cut the virtual queue in a way.
You could put it like that. You're paying for the computational ability to act faster than others. It's a completely different value proposition compared to Bought It, which sells you the actual thing.
Which brings us back to purchases. If Botit, it isn't selling the tickets or the tee time itself, how does it make money? What does purchases mean in their privacy policy? This is where it gets really interesting, I think.
Yeah, it's a total flip. For Bought It, revenue isn't tied to physical goods or logistics at all. It's about access to their software, their digital service. So when the sources mention in-app purchases for Bought It, they're talking about subscriptions. You pay for the right to use the automation tool.
Ah, okay, so the purchase is the access. You're buying the software service, not the outcome of using the service.
Exactly. You're buying the engine, like you said earlier. The sources even list specific subscription tiers. Basic, standard, standard plus Kurt. Paying for one of these unlocks the ability to create and run the bots. It's a software as a service model. Purely digital access tied to intellectual property, not physical inventory.
Okay, that contrast is crystal clear now. Botit sells physical goods delivered locally. Botit sells global access to a digital automation tool via subscription.
Mm-hmm. And think about the data implication of that purchase.
Right. If Botit's purchase data shows what physical stuff you buy and where you live, what does Botit's purchase data reveal?
It reveals your digital behavior and priorities. What tasks are so important or so frustrating that you're willing to pay for automation? If you subscribe to, say, their top tier standard plus says, it signals you're serious about gaining that automated edge for specific, likely high demand online activities. It tells them about market demand for scarcity items.
So it's less about your physical needs and location, more about your online goals, your desire for efficiency, maybe even your obsessions, what you really want to get your hands on online.
Yeah, it's behavioral intelligence. What online resources are people competing for? How much is speed worth in those markets? It's valuable data, but a different kind of value, and maybe a different kind of risk profile compared to Bootit's data.
Less about where you live, more about what you digitally crave. Okay, so synthesizing this.
Yeah.
That hyphen really does mark a massive split, doesn't it?
It really does. It separates two fundamentally different business philosophies. Botit. Physical goods, logistics, localized operations in Egypt, high capital expenditure up front. Their success is tied to managing inventory and delivery fleets efficiently in a specific region.
And Botit. Digital service, automation, global potential from day one, relatively low marginal cost once the software is built. Success is about software quality, marketing, and scaling user subscriptions.
And that's the big takeaway, I think. Understanding the type of app, is it fundamentally about e-commerce and logistics? Or is it about providing a digital utility or service that tells you almost immediately how it likely makes money and what purchases probably refers to in their data collection?
It really underscores the need to look beyond just the app name, doesn't it? Check the description, maybe the developer, the region if it's specified, and especially the details about any in-app purchases.
Definitely. Because as we've seen here, names can be incredibly misleading. And you might think you're using one kind of service, sharing one kind of data, when actually it's something else entirely. It makes you wonder, how often does this kind of naming confusion lead users down the wrong path about what a platform really is and what data they're giving up?
That's a really important point. We started with what seemed like just a spelling difference, maybe a typo. But unpacking it reveals these two totally distinct business models, different data implications, different global footprints. We've clearly separated Botit, the instant shopping platform in Egypt, built on logistics, from Botit, the global automation tool, built on software subscriptions. So where does that leave us?
Well, it leaves us thinking about that fundamental choice companies make, right? When they define purchases, what are they really building their business on? Are they committing to the complex, capital-intensive world of physical goods, inventory, and delivery? Or are they building on the potentially more scalable, but perhaps differently competitive, world of digital access, intellectual property, and recurring subscriptions? That choice shapes everything for them, their costs, their risks, their potential market, and it's all kind of encoded in how they use that simple word purchase. Something to think about next time you download an app.